So I did a video was it yesterday, yeah, so where I talked about my Peugeot 505, my plans for my Peugeot 505 interior with the project that is going on there now, which is the SL1A engine project. So, and in the video I also talked about, what I intend to do with all the V6 components that I will remove from that vehicle. And I mentioned, of course, my primary car, the primary car I want to use to put those things is Peugeot 504 GL or 504 TI or any of the American spec 505. No, 504. Then I think I mentioned maybe if I don't see a good 504, any of these 504 that I mentioned, maybe I could just now get 505 phase 1 and do the conversion, V6 conversion. So last night I really gave it a thought. In fact, throughout the evening I gave it a thought, and I started just remembering going through the pictures of because like I said in that video too, I converted a Peugeot 504 GL to 505, and that is to 505 phase 1. So I started looking at pictures I took there back then with the car when it now became a 505 phase 1, and I also looked at, of course, the GL. Even though I don't have any clear picture, I don't think I ever took a picture with that GL, yeah, apart from the one that probably I'm going to use in this thumbnail. Apart from the picture I'm going to use on this thumbnail, when I was a kid, so that 504 GL appeared on that picture. Then it was black, when it was basically still new. So so I started considering, and I found that it just went back to why I even started this 505 project in the first place. Two reasons. One, I want to enjoy that carburetor. In fact, I just want the car to be pure mechanical. As much as I enjoy that engine, the performance and everything, I want it because it's more like the newest 505 you can ever find on the road right now. One of the newest. They just use the word. At least considering all the ones I've ever seen, almost one of the newest. Other ones have done body work, this and that to make it appear okay as well. But mine, it's like from brand new, since production 1986, it still remained the same way. Aside the paint I talked about. So I start thinking, okay, two reasons why I want to do this day is because I want it to be almost like a brand new classic vehicle. And the classic is pure mechanical. I don't want it electric car, even though I know I've been handling the electrical part of it because it's a V6 and EFI, so it has some electrical control. But I want it pure mechanical, and I mixed all this while I've been mixing the SN1A or SN1. If when it was GL, it was SN1. The GL 504 and 505 that I used that time was the GL SN1 engine. So I kind of really missed that experience. I've always wanted it, so that's why I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this conversion. I have other Peugeot cars that are even faster, quicker, no matter how you want to look at it, than the 505 V6. However, the characters are not the same. So the first reason, like I said, I want a brand new or close to brand new classic 505 Then the second reason is 504 V6 experience. You know, so and I realized that going for that phase 1 505, converting it to a V6 is not be exactly what I wanted. That would make me happy. In other words, when I was comparing the two in my thoughts, the 504 V6 and 505 phase 1 V6, I was more excited with the 504 V6. So I realized that yes, I can easily get the 505 phase 1 and do the conversion, but I won't be as, it won't really excite me. It won't really excite me. Reason being, number one, I prefer the interior, the dashboard of the phase 2 505, which is my current 505 V6. I prefer the dashboard, the phase 2 1 to the phase 1 505. Also, the body of the phase 1, the front bumper, the rear bumper, the side, I just prefer the phase 2. So I realized that no matter what I do, even if I put it, because I said I just don't want to have two 505s, it's not a bad thing, but I know it won't really, if I do it, I'll find myself driving one more, because I actually want that carburetor, So I know eventually I may decide to get rid of the VC swap. If I go for a second 505, I know it's going to happen. Even though I'm enjoying it and everything, I know it's going to happen. So for me to actually, have the best, in the 504 VCs, 504 VCs, I mean, like now, if I'm currently in Nigeria, probably there's no 504 VCs that exist right now in Nigeria. So imagine, they are not doing it just to be number one, but to be able to successfully do it, So I decided I don't think I will go. In fact, the whole of last night I was just, because I have a owner's manual of the 505 phase 1. Phase 1 505, 1979 to 1985 productions. So I was just going through the pictures, looking at the manual, looking at the dashboard in the pictures, I was like, no, I don't think I want that. I don't have any problem. I don't hate it, but if I don't find it attractive, what's the point? I understand performance. I'm more of performance oriented. I prefer performance, but then doesn't mean I have to sit in something I don't like just because it will drive faster, it will handle better. I have to like the car first, physically, before I even talk about enjoying the car behind the wheel. So I realized, no, the 504. When I'm talking about 504. I'm not even talking about just only 504. Which is why I'm doing this video. Okay, I'm not going to keep the call right now. So I think I'll be on my way while I'm telling you guys reason why I prefer the 504. But to be able to understand what I mean, I want to do more like a comparison between 504 and 505. Specifically, I'll just do general comparison between the two models, and the two 504 and 505. Then there are various models, and then why I picked 504 and the model I am choosing. Okay, so by the way, this is no longer my Z9. So in case people are wondering, are you still enjoying your Z9 V6? No, this is my D9 V6, not Z9 V6. It's also stick shift, as you can see. So so that one is resting. My Z9 V6, the one I converted to manual, is resting. I want to also enjoy this one as well. Yeah, good times. I mean, having the best fun car sport you ever produce, and it's a good thing in life. So now 504 and the 505, they are good vehicles, right? In fact, I don't even need to talk about more on that. It's anybody who have used any of those cars understand what I mean. And then you just go and talk to, maybe if your father is still alive, your uncle or whatever, just go and talk to them. They will explain more, because this new generation men may not really understand, you know, why these two cars are that good, you know. So, but then, not all 504 are as good as the others. Now, some 504 are more designed for performance than the others. For example, the phase 1 504, not all phase 1 anyway, but the phase 1 504, which, hold on, phase 1 504, I'm talking about like the GL, TI, I'm not talking about the N. L is a phase 1, but it's not meant for performance. So GL, TI, then 504 V6, and some other models. Yeah, some of them, their suspension is actually good for performance, even though their powers are not that huge. You know, I think the maximum was like 100. I'm talking about 504 now, like 96 HP. But the torque was very, very good, high enough, and comes out at very low RPM, about 160 something, I think. So, but like I said, the performance, the suspension are very good. Why the phase 2 504, the one that we are mostly produced in Nigeria, including some phase 1, you know, like all those SR, GL, you know, ST2000, there are so many of them. Those ones, Prestige, those ones, they are just 504, you know, with their rugged body, rugged everything, but in terms of performance, no. Yeah, the engine, some of them have that 2.0 liter engine, that like the SN1A, which you find is also the 504 GL. But well, you got the power, but what about the handling? That's where I'm coming from. So because of that, it's not a car I will ever consider myself to own, you know. So now when you go to 505, the 505 shares almost same or similar mechanicals with the 504. Not all, but almost the same. Like the engine, basically almost the same or similar. The gearbox similar, except 504 did not come with 5-speed manual, unless maybe in other some specifications, maybe outside Nigeria, that are produced outside Nigeria probably will have, but it's the standard 505. No, 505 phase 1 came with 4-speed. But I think some models, not Nigerian specification, had 5-speed. But from phase 2 505 it became standard with 5-speed. So 505 is, like I said, shares similar components, mechanical components with the 504. But this is how I see 505. Okay, this comparison I'm doing is basically sedan or saloon, not station wagon, not coupe. So I know we have 504 V6, but like I said, I'm focusing on the saloon now. Now the 505 sedan, 505 sedan, both phase 1 and phase 2. To me, the body, it has a better body. In other words, it looks as if it's more like a better car than the 504 in terms of the body, since it shares same mechanicals with the 504, but it has a better body with the 504. Then, you know, so it makes it more like a better car, more like an improvement. In fact, it's not more like, it's a big improvement on the 504. Even though 504 was preferred mostly in African countries, but you know, still 504 still makes sense, you know, for people. Like I said, when you talk to people that actually use these two vehicles, I've used one. I use 504, and I've used 505 phase 1 before, and I'm also currently using 505, so I know the difference. So So in terms of the body, the 505 is way ahead of the 504. In fact, the mistake, not like the mistake, some of the negatives that the 504 had were corrected in the 505. So, I mean, if you have used a 504 before, unless maybe, I don't know about other ones produced outside Nigeria, like the American spec, Argentinian spec, but I do know for mostly the normal phase 1, phase 2 that we find in Nigeria, the doors are always a problem. The doors, no matter how new they are, yeah, they will be good when new, but once they start aging, they start showing all kinds of faults. You try to open the door for the door panel, it will not open. The door opener, sometimes it will break trying to open them. Even for the external door opener is also a problem. Then the door hinges is always a problem too. You know, you try to close the door, sometimes it won't lock very well. You now have to use your leg to shift it up a little, to shift up the door a little so that you'll be able to catch, you know, lap on the door catcher. Likewise, the door catchers, they're always having problem. Every night, I use my 504 for years. My father used it after a while. For years, not even after a while, before he transferred the car to me, and I used the car since 2000. I started using that car 1997 or so till 2008. 2007. I think 2007. That was how long I used the 504. Okay, no, 2004. From 1997 to 2004. That's how long I used 504. So before I converted it to 505. So it wasn't a pleasant thing. Now I understand that then at least the parts were available. You can always get another door opener, door catcher. When you need to see fake, it will break. I mean, it's just like that. But the 505 was corrected. Never I didn't see any 505 user that will have any problem with the doors, the door catcher, the door card, anything concerning doors. It was just a perfect car when it comes to the body. 504 had issue with rust, especially the phase 1. While the 505, I'm not saying you won't find a rusted one, but it wasn't really a thing. It's not known for rust. Of course, virtually, at that time they've not perfected rust-free vehicle body on Peugeot brand, but at least considering my current 505, has no rust at all since 1986 that was produced up till now, no rust. So unlike 504, to find a 504 with that, I mean, I don't know. So that's the thing. Then in terms of performance now, like I said, two of them, there are some models in 504 like the GL, TI, some other European spec or American spec that have the performance suspension, independent differentials and that. But the one they have produced in Nigeria, the suspension they are for off-road. If you ask me honestly, they are just for off-road, not meant for good handling. You could see from the height. I mean, they stand like Iloko tree. It's not just the tires, the spring, the rear differential. I mean, so many things. So you can push it hard, but not so safe when you're on high speed and you need to do some maneuver. It's not a good handling car. That's it. So for me to do a conversion, V6 conversion, it means it has to be 504 that is designed at least with 505 mechanicals. I was produced with 505. Like I said, 505. In fact, 505. Let's put it this way: 505 saloon. Nigerian spec, American spec, and all that. They share the same suspension suspension parts with 504 GL, 504 Ti, and some other models. Not this 504 SI and of all these phase 2 504 you find in Nigeria. No, the same rear differential, the same almost everything. You know, similar. I'm not saying they are identical, like the CV, the drive shafts. One may be longer than the other, or those, but the same design. So they share almost everything. So that's why I said if you want performance, if you want one you can actually modify for performance, is the 505, or you go for 504 GL, TI, and some other ones that have that kind of setup. There are some 504s that come with what's it called? That comes with no, 505. There are some 505 that comes with 504 phase 2 suspension setup, like the Argentinian spec. Most of the Argentinian 505 spec that I've seen, they have live differential, not independent differential. So I don't like that setup at all. You know, it means the propeller shaft will work with what they call it, knuckle. I think that's what the name we used to call it back then. Knuckle. That knuckle is horrible to me. I remember the user almost every now and then they are bringing down the torque tube to remove the knuckle in place. I mean, it's just a horrible system. Not a horrible system. It's made for off-road, like I said. So it's not something I would consider. Even if you can put V6 engine, I just don't want that setup. Because of the way I drive, the handling, it won't fit my driving style. So that's it. So in terms of 504 saloon versus 505 saloon. So 504, to be honest, it's easier to upgrade a 505 saloon than 504 in terms of performance. You know, for example, the 505. Most of them come with power steering, then the suspension, for example, because it has independent differential, rear differential, you can actually put LSD differential, that's limited slip differential, LSD, which is limited slip differential, you know, to help with the stability. You know, if you just go and lead up on that, or if you use the car with that system, you understand what I mean. So the limited slip differential, you can swap it there, remove the waters. The 505 that came with that LSD, we are mostly 505 GTI, and then some 505 V6 saloon, and then even some 505 station wagon with rear differential, with live differential. They also had that. I think, yeah, they also have the LSD. I think so. Not just the saloon. You know, but that's why I say it's easier to do that on a 5. You can actually, in fact, even if you put a V8 in a 505, the suspension can handle it. Unlike that 504, those models with live differential is going to have a very big problem. You know, even if you eventually will succeed, you have to do so much work, so much construction for you to be able to handle the power that comes from the engine bay. But 505 is very easy to do because the parts are available. Even if you buy a 505 that doesn't have power steering, it's very easy to do because there are models that have that power steering. All you need to do is swap, you buy and put. But if it's 504, to put power steering, you have to do some construction. You know, it's not going to be a plug and play. While the 505 is plug and play. 505 too, some models had ABS, like the V6, you know, had ABS, and the turbo charger, that's the phase 2. So if you want, you can swap it there. Even though I would advise you not to, because the ABS unit on that 505 V6 is not really, I won't say it's not durable, but in terms of maintenance, once it fails, yeah, it's done. The parts are no longer available to rekit it or to repair it. So even mine now is converted to the normal standard braking system, not without ABS. So there's a lot of performance things you can do with the 504, 505, 505. However, you can also do them with the 504 GL. Now, you see where I chose that 504 GL for this conversion, VC's conversion I'm doing, or 504, 504 Ti, or any American. I always use the word American spec because American spec had, almost all of them have, American specs 504 Saloon, they all have that performance suspension. At least all the ones I've seen or know about. So it'd be easier to actually just put in a VCC without even touching the suspension. You see the good thing about it, you just swap it into your, it will be easier, and because of sourcing of bars, if you want to go for like the phase 2 504 with light differential, or any of these 504 that looks like Eco3 that is too high, I'm talking about the ground clearance that are too high. Also, it means so many things. See, you spend fortune try to make it good for performance. You need knowledge. You need so many knowledge, or a lot of people to be able to put in their knowledge to be able to make it happen. So, to me, it doesn't worth it. I mean, I don't even like the interior of the phase 2. It's one of the reasons why. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I was thinking about the 504 and the 505 phase 1. Which one should I actually go for? 505 phase 1, which will be easier. But when I look at the dashboard, I kind of like the 504 dashboard, 504 GL dashboard. Then the seat. I mean, the 504 GL, this headrest is different. I mean, it's so unique. I've never seen it in any van of vehicle. Any vehicle you can ever think of. It's only that 504 GL TI is the best. In fact, when I converted my 504 GL to 505 phase 1, because the seat will not work, I had to even keep. See, I sold off every other thing that was after I removed the things I needed from the 504. I sold every other thing, but I kept the seat. I removed from the 504 GL to tell you that even back then in 2004, it was as if something in me was telling me that eventually I'm going to come back to 504 GL. To tell you how I love that car. The reason why I even did that conversion because the body had rusted so badly. That's why I said the problem with 504 was the worst issue. So the body rusted so badly, though mine was a little bit different. When my father used the car, he had accidents with the car. In fact, one of the accidents, the car somersaulted several times. The roof squeezed. To tell you how good. See, that's why most time when people talk about these safety things, still he came out unscattered. No airbag, nothing. Yet the car was able to protect him. Even with high speed, the car somersaulted several times. So because of all those impacts, he now have, of course, it was later straightened and fixed and all that, but then over time, see, once a car have that kind of impact accident, if you have the money that time, change the body, don't even bother unless you don't want to use the car for long. So eventually it started to affect the vehicle. It started rusting. All those things that they happen on the body started turning on it. However, it's also a known thing that 504 GL had rust issue, generally. But our own was rotted so badly, and as a result of that accidents that he had in the past, almost the whole part of the body with mud, body, what's it called? Forgotten the name of this thing. If I remember, I will say. So because of that, body filler, yes, that's the name. Every part of the car, try to smoothen every part with body filler was a mess. And that thing happened, I think it was in the early 80s. So that time, the idea of buying body, where we even see a body, a complete body in good shape to buy. So it was out of the question. So it now came to a point where, in fact, the body had to go. The car, either we butcher the car or the body, but I didn't want to lose that car because of so much fun I had with the car. So to get another 504 GL, like I said, it's completely different from SI. It will even work. So many things. It's different from that phase 2. So the two body will not work. So we now decided no, I made that choice, and I discussed with my father, even though he has given me the car then, but of course, I talked to him and said, this is what I want to do with this car. I need, even though at that time, he actually left the car with me. In fact, to the point that if he needed to drive the car, he would come and seek my permission. It was so funny. He would come and seek my permission because he saw how well I was taking care of the car. So he felt, somehow he was feeling guilty to use the car without, not just informing me, asking for permission. I want to, my other car is having one issue, so I want to use this one. Can I? It was so funny. And I respect him for that. Because of the respect he has for me for, other than that, he would have used authority and say, hey, after I was the one that bought this car, it's mine. But he still gave me that respect, And of course, I would be a foolish person to say, no, don't use the car, I don't want to, but he didn't care whether he gave birth to me, he was my father or not that, but still say, hey, I acknowledge your knowledge, your expertise on these things, and how you be handling something I couldn't afford, or I couldn't maintain anymore, because that's how it happened. It's a long story. I got to a point, he wanted to even scrap the car, and I said, you know what, let me handle it, leave it to me. And for years I took on the ownership and kept the car on until I left East. To the point that even when he wanted to sell the car, when I converted it to 505, wanted to sell the car, he had to call me when I was here in Abuja to seek for my permission to sell the car. Even though, it's so funny. So back to this thing. So yeah. So that was why we did that conversion. So I'm now at a crossroad that eventually I know I'm going to. I prefer 504 to 505. Phase 1. So it means eventually I will have to I know the challenge I will now have is to, how do I now get a 504 GL that has no rust and the body is in good shape, because I don't want that idea where almost every 2 years or every year you are going for body work. They are trying to change the pan, use the pan wet, where they start using body filler, we should change the shape of the car, all those things. I just don't want. So it means it has to be a 504 in a very good shape. Even if there is a rust, let it be just minor, not something big, that will eventually destroy the car like it did the other time. So so I decided I'll just strike out the 505 phase 1 from the list. It's going to be a 504 GL. Now I know it's likely going to take some time to eventually find the 504 V6. No, a 504 GL TI American spec, that's everything about the car. The even if the seat at all, like I told you, I still have the seat. It's still there. I kept it in my hometown. So once I know it's going to take some time. So what I intended to do is, once I start that project, once I remove all those V6 components in the 505 V6, so all those V6 components, I will just take them to my hometown. I have a very big storage there. I'll just keep them, Even if it takes me 5 years, 10 years to eventually find a 504 in good shape, I will, I'm going to mix the performance of the 505, what that I'm enjoying in that 505 V6. But like I said, I'm more excited that I'm going to have a clean, classic 505 mechanic, everything mechanic, no electric control, just minor few things. The ignition coil that sends power to the distributor and then send the current to the spark plugs, all those few things. That's all. Few things. Why the entire vehicle is just mechanical. Every other thing, unlike the modern ones. Yeah, this one too is good, but guy, man, I need that carburetor. I need it. So I'm not doing that car. I'm not doing that project in my 505 V6 for performance. But like I said, I even have plans to buy even more Peugeot cars that have more power than even this one. My Z9 V6, I intend to, as long as it has manual transmission, it's going to happen. So I'm not bothered about performance. I have other plans. I have current ones that have more power than the Z9, than my 505 V6, even though the characters are not the same per se. The way they drive, because the other is rear wheel drive, and this, so they all have their good and some negative sides. So, but eventually, as long as I'm still alive and I have the financial strength and the able body, my strength is still there on my body, yes, it's going to happen. The 504G, 504 V6. It does, even apart from this SL1A I'm doing, in fact, it excites me the thoughts of even having a 504 V6. So that's the thing. So I've changed my mind. Not like I changed my mind, it was just a thought that came in yesterday. Maybe I could even go for 505 phase 1, but no, I don't think I'll be doing that. At least now you know the difference. If you want to choose any of these two, you can go for phase 2 504, but know that it's not for performance. Yeah, some of them have the 2.0 liter petrol engine that has some power, not performance in terms of performance. No, the power is just average 100. I think between 96 to 106 horsepower, depending on how you tune it. Like I said, 504 has a V6 from factory, but they are only limited to coupe and coupe and convertible. And I don't like their looks. Funny enough, they're not even available in Nigeria. But I don't even like the way they look, even though they are 504. So it's out of the question. So the saloon is what I love, So I understand that I'll be having that issue will likely be there, the door issue. But hey, I'm a monk, So even if the other doors are not opening, who cares? Maybe I will even lock them permanently. So even if the one that I'll be spending money or not spending time trying to fix is the only driver's door, who cares? I'm a monk, so I don't buy cars to carry people. I know it's basically me that will be driving or be in the car for a very long time. This time I'm driving. It's only on a few occasions that there will be a cause for people to join me in the car. But I'm not a family man that I know every now and then I have to be carrying other people in the car or family members. So my focus is not on other doors. So yes, I think I can live with that annoyance. It's an annoyance. The 504 GM or general 504, their doors are very, very annoying. The way they behave sometimes. So yeah, if I can be spending that time, energy and money on one door, it's worth it. I mean, honestly, the experience of 504 VC, I've not driven one. I know some people have converted their 504 saloon to V6 in Europe, in Australia, in America. I can't say for sure, but I know for Europe, yeah, they've done it. I've seen quite a few of them online. There are no one guy in Kenya did it, but yeah, he did. It was 504, but I think it was 504 V6. No, it was engine V6 engine he removed from 604, which is similar to the one in 504 V6. That's the coupe and the convertible. So that was the one he used. But the one I'm going to do, it will be EFI, the one I intend to put on the saloon. I don't have a problem with the EFI one, even though my only concern is, as they are aging, you find more parts, more carburetor engine parts than the EFI 505 parts here in Nigeria. So I'll be, for example, because of this accessibility of parts of my 505, my V6, I don't like driving it, doing long distance with it anymore. I mean, imagine you travel with the car and then saw one of the engine components now fail. Where will you get the parts? So because of that, I feel so bad that I love that car so much, yet I won't be able to use it the way I want. But now I can. With that car, I mean, what parts? Almost every part of 504 or that engine is accessible. Even if there is a time that I don't have it, as it's accessible, you can always order it. Even if it happens where all you need is make a phone call and get there. And besides, there are no parts attach an engine that can, when failed, can actually stop the car from moving. So all I need is to have those few parts and spare whenever I'm traveling. So see that car, that 505 I'm doing, I intend to use it the whole country as that's the only car I will be traveling with. Though I could say probably with this one and all those ones, but that's the one I know. I want to use it, even though it's going to be a classic, but use it anyhow I want, enter anywhere I want and come out and do it. So the 504 V6 is, yeah, the 504 V6 future project will be there, but it's a car I'll probably use for fun, mostly, not for like utility. The other one, you know, yeah, we use it more like an utility. It's just to be like fun, because I know they don't come with power steering 504 GL, even though I can install one, but I know it's going to be another huge project. I can put it's not like a huge, but it will take some time. I have to use 504, 505 what's it called, 505 power steering keys. Then see the ones I have to do some construction. You won't just enter like that, I know, but I know 505 is longer, so maybe one or two things may have to go. Maybe the tie rod may not match, or I don't know when the time comes. So, or I may just prefer you know, leave it at that manual steering. The AC 504G, especially foreign ones, did not come with AC. But I know some that were produced in Nigeria had AC, so yeah, it can be installed, or I can really drive without it. Like I said, it's going to be just for performance sake, you know, driving inside town, back again. So that's what it's going to be, so that I can actually enjoy the 505. In fact, my intention is, even after this project, if I have the chance, I'll probably go and buy a brand new, because it's still available, buy a brand new SL1A engine and keep. So even if this new one I'm building, even if after 10 years, 20 years it fails and they start giving me one or two problems, I can always go and pick the other new one, put, so I won't even bother about rebuild or fix and that, you know. So it's something good, and I'm excited about. So the other cars people can go for this kind of project, for you know, stuff like that. But no, like I say, if I don't find the car attractive, I won't bother with it, you know. So I find 504 GL attractive. The dashboard, I love that dashboard. The design completely different from the other one. This will make it more classic, and yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, come on, it's easier for me to even say, okay, after doing this SL1A project in my current 505 V6, let me get, what's it called? Let me get another 5, because I know I can easily get 505 V6. A lot of people, their own has packed up or developed problems, so they pack the car. So you know, if I ask around, I can get one, especially from the eastern part of Nigeria. I know I can. I can buy one, maybe now use the parts I removed from my current one to restore that one. But I'll still be more excited if it's 504 V6 saloon, you know, no matter what I do. Right now, all I care about is 504 V6, 505 SL1A, almost like I said, almost close to a brand new 505 with SL1A engine. Why a 504? As long as the body is intact, I don't really care much about, because I say it's going to be a fun car. I'm not going to do it to be a new car like my 505. You know, fun car is meant to be not trashed, but it means you can actually drive, use it roughly. You know, even if anything happens, if the engine blow up, you don't care. You buy another one and put. That's basically what fun car means, as long as you do your own part for the longevity of the engine. So that's the update. At least now you know differences between 504, 505. Each of them can serve various purposes, you know. Okay, that's all, guys. That's all. So yeah, if I have any other thing, I'll do another video. I'm still thinking of this particular, you know, I'm also doing a project on this one, which is converting the brake to a performance one. Maybe I will conclude it, or maybe not. you know, but I'm more excited with the 505 V6 project, so I think I'll just focus on that, because there's nothing wrong with this brake. It's okay, it's very, very good. It holds the car very pretty much, but then I know it's not a performance one, so we'll see how it goes.